All right. Let me get this. We look good. We look good. Oh, we don't got the thing on the top, man. We don't got the thing on the top. All right, let's get that. Man, I was in the wrong studio. Now we're good. Now we're good. We're live. Lions Bills pregame show. This live stream, as always, being brought to you by BetUS, YouTube 150. Code is in the description. 150% deposit match on your first deposit. As your sign-up bonus, 125% on your next two deposits up to $2,000, man. Shout out to BetUS. We're going to get to that here in a second. We're getting this thing rolling. Give me a 1 if we sound good. The lighting looks different today. I don't know what's going on, but it looks different. I kind of like it. It's like it's real smooth. Here's the thing. So there's like tons of settings on there. And actually, they were like, yo, can you send us the camera settings so we can like look at that thing? I'm telling you, that was music, man. I heard that. I'm like, that's music. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Someone needs to look at this because I don't know what the heck I'm doing, bro. It changes everything when you mess with the settings. By the way, hey, it has been fulfilled. Oh, snap. I'm about to. All right. Maybe I shouldn't have brought this up here, but here we are. See, now they look crazy. Now they're flipped around. Oh, no. Gibbs, what you looking at, dog? Over here, bro. We got the lion. Come on, man. Like, it looks good. They're not looking right. They're not looking the right direction. But when they are looking the right direction, we got this thing rolling, man. I actually got some lights for it now. I got to pop the lights on there. I think with these dudes on there, we got to get the lights on there. You know what I mean? With the dudes on there, now we got to get the lights because we got the canes and stuff. But this is absolutely money. This is fantastic. And you know what, man? I've had people ask me, oh, snap. Okay. I've had people ask me, what is the whole Sonic Knuckles thing? And they don't even be following the Lions like that. I guess it's like it's a big trend. Like this is a legit thing. A lot of people are like talking about this. This is massive right now. You know what I mean? So this is crazy. This is crazy. Shout out to Scotty Montgomery, man. He started a trend here. This whole Knuckles and Sonic thing. Look at that. We had commercials for this. We're going crazy on this. As I stated though, Jason, I see you. Ooh, this is gonna be a problem. Vansies, yo. What is this? Oh, some shoes. Okay, is that what you're wearing? Vans? Yeah, you wearing Vans. Are you wearing Vans? Those don't look like Vans. I'm going to be honest with you. Nick's in the building. I see you, Nick. Appreciate you being here. Jody. Theprogrammersmuzik Entertainment. Theprogrammersmuzik Entertainment. I see you. Jason. My man, Jason. I'm ready too. You got dunks on? You got dunks on? Okay, I say those don't look like... Dunks aren't Vans though, right? See, I don't know shoes like that. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not. I know like a couple things about, I know like a couple types of shoes that I like. Outside of that, I don't really know anything about shoes. But like I'll see them, you know what I mean? I'll see them on Facebook. Like those are clean. I see you. I see what you're doing with those shoes. Those are clean. I always like the way the Kobe's look. I like the ones that have like cereal boxes on them. Like those are fire. Those are fire. Anyways, man, we're here. Pre-game show as always. We're going to dive into this. Players to watch. We also elevated 2 players today. Or not today, yesterday. We elevated 2 players. We're going to talk about those. One of them being Jamal Adams again. Adams is back. I'm really, I'm interested in these inactives when we do get the inactives. We may not get the inactives live here. I think when they play at 4 like they do today, I think they still come out at like 3 something. Or maybe it's 2 something. I don't know if we'll even see the inactives when we're live today, but we can kind of talk about it because my expectation is that the inactives are going to have some real healthy scratch. Hopefully it's not a lot of like, oh, he was supposed to play and then he's not playing. But I think we're going to see some real healthy scratches. Miles Adams might be up. Jonah Williams might be a healthy scratch. Things like that. I could see a few of those pop up for this one. That'd be the thing I'm really looking for is like how many of these guys that are actually healthy that are not active. Then also linebackers. See if we have any guys that are healthy that aren't active at linebacker. I'm curious because Abraham Beauplan was brought up today. And usually if you're brought up, you're not going to then be inactive. It doesn't make any sense. So we're going to talk about those 2. But before we get too far, so we play at 425. And this is crazy because last time, I've seen this at 2.5 earlier this week. And actually, the crazy thing is I think it started at like 1, and then it moved up to 2.5, and now it's back down to 1. So I guess that's just money coming in because I don't think there's been major injury updates. Or maybe the public was like late on the fact that the Bills are healthy. I don't know. But this number is just like settled in at 1. The over-under hasn't moved at all. The money line is actually better odds if you want to jump on that here with BetUS. I don't know exactly where. I'm going to check. Oh, yeah, here we go. NFL alternatives. Easy said that he jumped on the alternative for the Lions game. Now, I think he did it in some sort of custom way, which I'm going to be honest, I don't even know how you do that. But I know you could do things like this. So, like a 7.5, like taking the Lions by 2 scores. Okay, so and then there's also a 10.5. I don't know that I'd touch either of those, but if I would touch one, it'd probably be the 7.5 because that's only plus 223 though. I'm be honest, I wouldn't even mess with those. The over-unders can get to 60. So if you really feel like there's gonna be some points, maybe that's the move. I don't think I mess with either of those. I'd run the Lions -1 though. I wouldn't run the because then I get -125. I wouldn't run the money line on that. I don't think there's a huge benefit there. $20 makes me 16. All right, we'll jump on that. You know what I mean? Hey, and if anybody saw Saturday, we finally came back with our shorts, our prop parlays. I'm feeling good about this week. You know, like this is one of those weeks where it's like I don't want to go too far. I was really trying because that's what gets me. I can hit on 2 of the 3 or 3 of the 4, and then that 4th one I knew coming in I was doing too much. I was like, man, that I really and this honestly, this is the one. This is how good this game's gonna be. Usually when I make those, I'm like immediately hit the spread. Boom, Lions minus whatever. We'll add that in there. That's usually kind of my mindset, or just take the Lions to win. This is one where I was like, man, like maybe you stay away from that when you place the player prop. Like you place the player prop, both teams are probably going to score a little bit, so you should be able to hit some stats, but then maybe stay away from the who wins. I rolled Lions win, but the fact that I had a second thought it tells you a lot about the team that we're actually playing. You got Lions at +2.5. So Lions getting points. Oh, I didn't even notice that was your logo. I thought that was you. That's Dan Campbell with a... Wait, is that Dan Campbell? Or is that you? Hold up. You look like Dan Campbell a little bit? You got a dog on your shoulder? All right. Hey, maybe you just look like Dan a little bit. That kind of looked like Dan. I'm not going to lie. I see you, though. What kind of dog is that? Is this the last time we wear the black unis? I think so. I think it's scheduled as the last time, I think. But, yeah, it might be, right? We wore it for Seattle. I think that's the only 2 games coming in that we're pretty sure we're going to wear them. Honestly, though, I'm not the best person to ask on that. You guys usually inform me about the whole uniform situation. I'm usually on the outside. I didn't even know they scheduled those things out, but I think so. You adjusted it. Okay, so it is DC. All right, I see you. Why the dog, though? What's the... Okay, I got... It's -2 on Caesars. Might have to switch BetUS. Come on, man. That's what I'm saying, bro. And that you absolutely should. You absolutely should, man. If you place a bet with BetUS, screenshot me or something, man. Let me let them know. You know what I mean? Because I know I can get some love shown through them as well. You know what I mean? So, you like the parlay? I appreciate that. I think this week I feel pretty good though. I didn't go too crazy with any of the specifics. I even thought about dropping down like the rushing stats. Like if I was gonna go Gibbs, I was thinking about dropping down the number. I thought about like, should I go receiving yards or should I go receptions for Patrick? That was kind of the balance that I was on there with. And the interception, like as much as I wanted to do it, I'm like, I can't get there. But I love the idea of putting a guy like Kirby. Like if you're going to go in interception, he's like plus 300 something. It's actually not crazy. Definitely throw something at Kirby Joseph because he'll have the opportunities today. He'll be the guy that'll actually get the opportunity with a ball down the sideline. And we know how fast Kirby closes on those. It's hard for me to not see a play today that plays out where Kirby Joseph is at least getting his hands on the football on the sideline. Like I see that at least one time he's going to have his hands on the football one time because he's going to be tested there multiple times today. So I think that he'll just be in the action too much. But anyways, all that being said, man, just hit the Gibbs over. What did you get it at, JT? What is it, 60, 66, 67? I'm not mad at that one. I was tempted. I think I went with Monty. I think I went with Monty because he was like 10 yards less. But I'm not mad at either of those. I think you could have rolled either direction. I just went with the lower yardage, to be honest with you, because I think Monty's going to find consistency. And I just liked where his number was. If they were the same yardage, I would have probably rolled Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay, so I'm going to go to my players to watch. But before we get to that, let's talk about these players that were elevated yesterday. And I'll keep an eye on X to see if anything drops. Let me know if you all see anything that drops that we need to touch on. We did kind of the injury report in my preview video yesterday, but we can revisit some of those, of course. But let me start. He said Monty's at 57, Gibbs 7. Yeah, see, that's why I stayed away from it. 67 is a lot, man. 67 is a lot. And if I believe in Monty, that's a lot. Kirby's due. I'm too young to gamble. No, you good. You good, man. Don't be. Hey. You good. You good, bro. I appreciate you being here. All right, I'm going to go to some of these clips here. But I want to start off with Abraham Beauplan being elevated. Because when we went live on Thursday and we found out that Trevor Nowaski was concussion concussion protocol. He was like, oh man, this guy's probably not going to play if he popped up on Thursday. And then Dan comes out Friday, I think it was, and he's like, yeah, that dude, he's probably not playing. So immediately you're like, all right, what's next? And what's so unfortunate about this, about the whole what's next situation is, bro, it's like that position specifically is getting destroyed with injuries. Ken with the 50 piece? Ken, what are you doing, man? Hey, guys, spam the chat with birthday cakes. Ken just went crazy. Shout out to Ken, man. Ken's in here like every stream. Have a happy holiday, man. Wish I could buy a subscription for a year at a time instead of monthly. This also works. Ken, you're crazy, bro. I appreciate you, Ken. Ken, I bet, you know what, man? The last couple days I've been jotting down ideas about things that I want to roll into next year. You know, New Year's resolutions, like things that I want to do, especially for the channel. I won't say what that is, but I'm like, yeah, I mean, I was thinking about bringing back some sort of like show on Wednesday, maybe like a Wednesday morning for members only, and then I could clip out of it. Something like that. Like I was thinking about running something like that back. Maybe it's not a super long show, just some kind of like, bam, we're in and out, 30 minutes to an hour every Wednesday for members only. So just keep that in mind. I think that's something that may happen. I don't know for sure, but I was really thinking about we need something like that. But Ken, I appreciate you, man. Ken's showing a ton of love, man. Ken going crazy. Ken's always in the chat. Y'all know. Ken, I appreciate you, man. Have a happy holidays as well to you. I like it when DJ, when we both right, just win, baby. Hey, that's it, man. Just find a way today. And the crazy thing about today is like, I feel like the Green Bay game was so much like one game, like this game versus Green Bay. Green Bay had a lot more on it because it was like, yo, we have to win the conference game. When y'all were talking about tiebreakers, like we needed the conference win. And actually, I want to peek at that. I do want to peek at the kind of updated playoff picture because my guy did say that if we win our next three, he said the magic number was 3. I don't know if he meant that we had to win exactly 3, but Ed brought this up. Magic number is 3. I don't know if it means the next 3 or if it's just any 3 that we win the division. So if we won the next 3, then that technically that Minnesota game wouldn't matter. I know if we beat Minnesota, we'll be in a really good spot, but we might have to check on that. I wanted to go here though, and Abraham Beauplan is elevated today. Now, when I saw this, at first I'm like, okay, how are we gonna use him? Because he like we all remember Abraham. This dude was a dog in the preseason, right? Like this dude was all over the place in preseason. He played the last 2 preseason games. He was fantastic in those 2 games. Kansas City and the Giants? I'll show both. He was great, and he played off-ball linebacker, and you guys remember we were rolling through linebackers then. To be honest, I guess this was kind of like a sign of things to come, unfortunately. Like, our linebacker position was constantly getting new additions to it. Malik Jefferson. I forgot about Malik Jefferson. I was watching it today. I'm like, who is this guy? Malik Jefferson, man. He showed up immediately when he stepped in. Ty Summers was a dog. Bro, we had dogs at linebacker. So now we finally dipped into the practice squad. We said, okay, Abraham, it's your shot to get a look. And based on what he did in the preseason, I think that's very fair. But when you think about a guy like Trevor being out, the most simplified thing is like, okay, well, maybe they try Abraham on the line of scrimmage a little bit. Maybe they put him in that Trevor Nowatzki role a little bit. I think it's on the table. I would be interested to see it. But if it's not, it could be as simple as, hey, he's a true backup to a guy like Ben Neiman now, to give Ben Neiman some flexibility, because Jack Campbell will be, kind of your Mike in this game. And then outside of that, you do still have Quan. You'll have David Long. That's why I want to see who's active and who's inactive, because I think based on that, it could tell us a lot. It could tell us a lot about who's actually available and who they're actually deciding to go with and who's trying to play what position. But with Jack, and then you have the multiple guys that can fill in next to him. Ben Neiman's typically the backup to Jack Campbell, but now you bring in Abraham Beauplan. He may not even play today. And then all of a sudden you have a guy like Beauplan who, hey, Abraham could just be the backup, or he could potentially find a specific role. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. I'm curious, man. I'm curious to see how this rolls. And we're going back. Like I wasn't sure if I was remembering correctly. I was like, did this guy did he play the role, that Trevor role in the preseason, or was he a little bit more off ball? And he was fully off ball in the preseason. He played, basically our Mike, but he played interior linebacker positions. But then I saw flashes of this, and right here he's matched up on the tight end. He showed flashes of this, man, where he was able to press up these tight ends off the line, jam them at the line. Remember, this guy's 6'2", 235. I think he's got pretty short arms. I actually didn't look that up, though. I was supposed to, but I think he does. His length doesn't look fantastic. There we go. I don't know what that was. I don't know. I think it's sometimes with the weather or something, because I got that wired connection now that sometimes it's like, nah, that wired connection is trash, dog. Go back to using Wi-Fi. I don't know. But I see y'all in the chat started saying like, hey, there's something going on. Let me know if something's still going on. We're gonna re-up what we were just doing right there. Let me know if something's still going on or if we're good or not. I'm gonna give that a second. But yeah, I think it's interesting. My guess would be that Ben Neiman's just going to move around. I think they're probably going to put Ben Neiman on the line a little bit. My concern with that is I don't think he did very well the first time they asked him to do that, which is why they pulled back on it pretty quickly. But it would make sense that if you're like, we'll give ourselves a little more flexibility. That way we can move Ben to that Trevor Nowatzki role. And I also think that also opens the door, and we talked about this, I think, in the preview. It also opens the door for Jamal Adams to play a lot more. Like you could definitely then... He doesn't have to be out there all the time. Like Jamal Adams played last week when the Packers went 2 running backs, he was on the field, and he also played when they had 3 receivers on the field, right? So 1 tight end, 1 running back, which is typically where you're matching nickel personnel, and all he was doing is he was just taking off Amik Robertson. I think today it's on the table that they go with Jamal Adams a lot more because Buffalo, we know, one, they'll play jumbo package, so that's where Beauplan could come into play. They put 6 offensive linemen. You want another backer on the field. Makes sense. You go that direction. But also Buffalo using 2 tight ends a lot more today when they are in those 2 tight end sets. I mean, typically you'd match that with a linebacker, but I think with where we're at that linebacker position, I wouldn't hate the Lions saying, you know what, forget that. We're just going to go to Jamal Adams because Jamal Adams could play the tight end. If we play man, we could trust him on a tight end, right? He'll have Don Kincaid or Dawson Knox. We'll put him in that spot. And then at the same time, we know we like him in zone at the run, as a run defender. It may not be like that big of an issue, just because of where we're at anyway. It's not like we have Derek Barnes out there playing that spot. We've had inconsistencies. I thought Ben was super inconsistent when he was trying to play on the line last time. So I think that opens the door for Jamal to play a lot based on how they come out personnel-wise. I think it makes a ton of sense to give him some real looks in this game. He played 7 snaps last week. I went through and watched those today. Most of the time, he's just blitzing, jumping gaps off the edge, that kind of thing. But now it's an opportunity for him to actually play a legitimate role in this game, like a much bigger role. I think that should be on the table. He was also elevated today. Stream is good. Okay, stream's good. Ice on the Lions messing with the signal. Oh, dang. See, I didn't even know that was a thing. Abraham Beauplan is playing a bunch today. All right, I'm going to try to go back to Beauplan. We'll see if this thing jumps out. Y'all let me know. But yeah, I would assume he's playing in some sense. Again, it could be, the other aspect is he could be just simply a backup to Jack Campbell in this game. That way Ben can move. It could be that simple because I don't know, knowing the Lions, I don't know how crazy they're going to get with let's move Beauplan to a spot that he really didn't play in the preseason. What Beauplan did well was he played off ball linebacker, and that's not really what the Lions need. The Lions need someone that can play that Trevor role, can step down on the line a little bit. So I don't know if they'll ask him to do something that he didn't do a ton, but I'm not completely against it because I think some of the skill set says that this actually may not be terrible. And like I said, he's way more explosive than I remember, when going back and watching him. The lateral scrape speed, the change of direction, the dude can move. And you see him right here on the flat, out in man coverage. It's not perfect. He feels a little bit stiff when you watch him, but his footwork is very controlled. That's what I liked about him. And then, of course, as a blitzer, he's incredibly impactful, which, again, points to the idea of, put him down the line of scrimmage. But, look at a play like this. When he presses the line and then he has to get lateral, look at this, man. And he was doing this a lot to the point where you're like, okay, is this a bat? Is he late on some of these, or is it just he's making it happen because we got to give more credit to athleticism? And when you see that kind of control, working downhill, settling himself down, he was making plays like that in both preseason games left and right. Now, in zone coverage, this is why I'm interested because typically if I'm playing him off ball and he's having to go to zone, we're playing zone coverage, I'm asking him to spot drop like this. I don't think that this is really his best. If anything, I want him playing underneath zone. I want him jumping on flats. But if I have to drop him to a spot, I don't think this is where he's at his best. I think he handles boots and rollouts well, but he doesn't have much length, as you'll see. So he doesn't seem to impact the catch point a ton, but he doesn't give up any leakage. He's going to make the tackle, so that's the positive. But even on a play like this, when this thing becomes a rollout, right, and the edge defender doesn't have the flat, right, you have your 4 underneath defender, so he actually has the flat here. And you're watching this play all right, that was pretty aggressive on that step down. But watch how he retreats and gets out of there and finds the flat and limits this to a 4-yard gain. The dude can actually move sideline to sideline way better than I remember. So I'm interested to see how they tried this out. And then you see him this time. I think he was a blitzer here, but he actually comes up with the fumble on this play and sets us up. Remember how crazy this game was? This was game of the year for the preseason, man. This game was outstanding. And then we go to the Steelers game, and I'll just roll a couple more clips here. This kind of thing he does well, right? They boo it out, flips his eyes around, it's trailing coverage. He's able to find something in trailing coverage in a spot like this. The spot dropping's not great, but the ability to move and run and find things is. And then I started to see plays like this where it's like, okay, we're showing gaps here, right? They need a yard. We're going to show gaps, so we're not going to really stack anything. We're going to press up into our gap. And then his ability to stay square to the line, lateral, step down, make a play like that behind the line of scrimmage. Some of this stuff could translate like this, dealing with the tight end one-on-one, shedding the block, even though it's more so because the other guy ran into him. Some of this stuff could translate, and then you'll see how he jumps over gaps. You're like, that could translate too. I don't think he'd be maybe a great edge setter because I don't think he's that long, so there may be some like real limitations. But could he cover the flats? Yes. Could he cover a tight end? I think so. I think that he could cover a tight end vertically. And then against the run, like, can he get over gaps? Yeah. Could he blitz? He actually may be better pressure piece than anybody that we've seen at that spot. Like, I think it's on the table. I don't know how like flexible he'll actually be in those spots, but I think it's on the table here. Again, he's covering the tight end, really basic coverage routes. And then you start to see plays like this and you're thinking like, all right, trap runs, wham runs. Now with Buffalo, I think they're more of an outside zone type of team. So that it makes sense to make him a backup Mike backer because I think he takes on blocks maybe a little bit better than he works over top of blocks and he scrapes and things like that. But you see, like when he's getting downhill, if the Lions want to be aggressive, they put him at off ball, let him get behind the line of scrimmage, let him chase guys. This play was insane. I think this is the last one. This play was crazy. No, actually not this one. The next one's crazy. This one's not great. This is where he gets kind of trapped inside, right? He's stepping into the A gap. There's traffic there, and he doesn't get over top. You see how he doesn't get back over top, and he gets walled off? That kind of thing isn't fantastic. So there will be inconsistency there, especially today with all the zone running, that could be on the table. But plays like this are outstanding. So he's going to jump down into this A gap. Watch this. He jumps here. And you can see that they're pulling an offensive lineman. So they have this power run set up. Watch him then scrape back over top like that with his footwork, staying square to the line, moving down the line, and he settles in and makes the tackle. He worked over gaps there. So I just wonder a little bit if like they're going to say, all right, we trust him as a backup linebacker. Just leave him in there. Because if we're being honest, we haven't ever really needed a backup off-ball linebacker for Jack Campbell because Ben Neiman's always been able to step in there, right? Even in this time, Ben Neiman's always been that option because we've had other guys that can step down and play on the line of scrimmage. But now, if you're asking Ben to finally expand his role, down a little bit more, which we've had to do this season, it would then make sense to in turn say, let's bring up Abraham Boatplan because we just need some depth. So I don't know if it's for depth. I don't know if it's for put him on the line of scrimmage and let him play the Trevor Nowatzki role, let him play some Sam backer. One of the two. I don't know. But either way, there's a lot of things to like about what he did. He's definitely a see ball, get ball kind of guy. And I think when you look at Buffalo, like I don't love him in like the zone drops when Buffalo does some of those play action shots. I don't think he'd be outstanding there. But I also don't think Buffalo has the most complex offense in terms of drop back style. Like they have to run the football. They're going to try to run the football. And the Lions have to stop the run. That's first and foremost. I like that for Abraham Boatplan. Like that's an area where I'm excited. I like aggressiveness against this team. I liked early down zone blitzing. So if I put him at off ball and I blitzed him and then I dropped out everybody else, like I have no problem with that. And then if I put him on the line, I could rush him or I could drop him into a flat because we could see how fast he takes away the flats. And also a guy like Boatplan, a quick side note where he's very helpful is his movement skills against a guy like Josh Allen, who we know is just going to take. Like Josh Allen runs a lot, but it's so much of like he is bailing this team out in a lot of situations. It's great to have guys like Boatplan on the field where even he won't spy unless the Lions for the first time do decide to spy. I mean, maybe they'll put Boatplan in there. But if they're not spying, even if they're not, if you put him on the edge, right, say he has to rush. He's got the C gap. He's rushing upfield. He's the kind of guy that you want on the field because he's the kind of guy with that ability to at very least try to track down the quarterback. Like he'll have more success there off ball or underneath. He's an aggressive player. He steps down aggressively, but he has that body control where he's not putting himself in bad positions. I just don't think he transitions super well. He's not super flexible in coverage. But he could absolutely say, like, yo, take the flat and then take the quarterback. Like that kind of thing. You simplify the role, let him fly around, hair on fire. I think he's going to play off ball today. And I think Ben's going to move down a little bit today. But we'll see. Regardless, this is like a good game to have a guy like Boatplan because you're kind of fighting fire with fire when you have a guy like Josh Allen. So keep an eye on Abraham Boatplan today. I just think it's a super interesting game to bring up. There's a reason they brought him up, of course. And I like the matchup a little bit. The other guy, as I touched on, he played 7 snaps last week. My guy, Jamal Adams. I don't want to say my guy. I don't know why I said that. But I am excited about Jamal Adams. Y'all know I believe in Jamal Adams. I have 2 clips here. It's nothing crazy. It's really just for background noise. background noise? Stop. There's no noise here. Background visuals. This is what he did, right? He was aggressive. Again, here was a 2 running back set, right? 21 personnel, bam, bam, 2 backs. So he steps in, which is technically it's heavy personnel offensively because you still have the tight end. So this is usually a spot where you put an extra backer on the field. You can see the Lions aren't doing that. They're in a nickel package defensively, right? 4 down linemen, 2 backers. Depending on what you call Jamal Adams, they're in nickel. If you call him a safety, if they're in linebacker, they're in base still. So we saw that, okay, there was a recipe for this. Now, he wasn't typically out there when it was 2 tight ends, but that's what he would do. He'd spill runs. And then he was also out there in plays like this, where it would be like 11 personnel, right? Where it's like, okay, now you have to match with nickel. So then he would come back on the field. And then again, that's what he was doing. He was jumping off the edge. He was blitzing. He was aggressive. I like him today because I like zone blitzing on first down. So I like putting him in there. I'm like, hey, let him blitz on first down. Put him on the slot. Let's go. I like him a lot today. I think there's a lot of things that go well. And I feel like we kind of gave him like a segment in the preview video yesterday or Friday. Like about 10 minutes where I just talked about, I don't think it was 10 minutes. That's probably a reach. Maybe couple minutes to 5 minutes where I just talked about how he could impact the game to a point where I almost was like, man, maybe I should have like clipped this and just posted it because I talked about him a lot more than I expected, but that's because I really like the idea of Jamal Adams in this game. So I think both these guys potentially have a role. Boplan could just be a backup. Could be. He could play. He could play a lot more. I think Jamal has a legit role today. I think he's going to play a healthy amount today. Just because of how they play. And I think the more they lean into 12 personnel usage, the more they lean into 2 tight ends, the more it opens the opportunity to just put Jamal on the field. Because I don't want Jamal matched up with Khalil Shakir. Straight up. Like, if they're going 3 receivers, I don't want him trying to go to the slot and play man with Khalil Shakir. I think that might be a disaster. I wouldn't do that. But if you told me it was Dawson Knox or Kincaid, I'd be like, okay, now we might have something. You put him on Shakir, we don't really have something. So in that case, he's either got a blitz, it has to be a zone drop, or just put a Meek Robertson in the game. And I'm a big Meek guy, and I think it will be a Meek. So I don't know. I think the door's open, man. I think he's I think he could do a lot today, man. I think this could be a really good game for him. This could be kind of the introduction of what Jamal Adams can be as a Lion. And it's all matchup dependent. Like, that's the thing with Jamal too, is I don't think that every game he has to be this massively impactful guy. But I think that there's games where it makes sense. And I thought that about San Fran when we first signed him. But I think the more that you look at it, with how fast they were able to actually give him reps last week, there could have been some preparation for the fact that, like, yo, we're going to need you next week. Like, next week, we need you on the field. So let's get you ready now, because next week we're going to play you a lot more. It's not going to be 7 snaps like you're really going to play. Because last week was kind of like even some of the spots we were put in was like, why are we even, it's kind of weird. Today is the time. He's our second biggest linebacker and playing the slot. Well, he plays in for Meek Robertson, right? He was subbing for a Meek Robertson. So it just depends on what you call him. You can call him a linebacker. Most of the time, our guys in that third backer role are not going to be off the ball directly in the box, but we can call him whatever we want, right? Call him in the box, call him in the slot. It just depends on what the offense comes out in, right? If the offense comes out with 2 tight ends, but the 2 tight ends are split into the slot, then he's got to step into the slot. You know what I mean? So, like, I wouldn't put him in the box then because you're just going to be outnumbered. Right, he has to bump to the slot. So it just depends on how the offense aligns. But, I don't think he's also our second biggest linebacker either. Like, he's not bigger than Jack or Ben Neiman or Abraham Boplan now. But I hear what you're saying. Like, I think that this is a real role for him because I think that he can help us. Now, I still don't love the idea of, like, him having to take on offensive linemen. I don't love that necessarily. Like, I'd rather leave that to a backer. But if I can kind of put him in that in-between role a little bit because they're trying to play multiple tight ends, that's where I'm intrigued. Like, if they go jumbo, he's probably coming off the field. We'll see. If they're going jumbo package and they have tight ends, because a lot of times when they put a 6th offensive lineman, they still put 2 tight ends on the field. You know what I mean? They don't just go jumbo and then put the rest of receivers. Like, they'll go jumbo and they'll go 12 personnel, and it's still 2 tight ends, offensive linemen. I don't know how many spots I'd actually still leave him on the field there, unless I'm just putting him at safety. But they probably won't want to take Branch versus Kirby off the field because Branch plays so well against the run. I don't know how many times I'd actually try to match him with that. I'd be like, maybe we take him off the field now. Because now I don't want him in that spot that often. But to your point, I think this is a big role for him. I think this is an opportunity today, man. I think this is the kind of matchup. Not every week will be this, but I think this is one of those weeks where it just makes sense. Doesn't everyone struggle against running quarterback? Yeah, and that's 100% fair. Like, I don't know the numbers on it. Like, if y'all got the numbers on it, send them. I see that all the time. I don't know that teams, here's how I look at it. I don't know that it's like a struggle with just like running quarterbacks, because there's quarterbacks that run that their offense is worse because they don't throw that well. Like, look, when we played Fields was a headache. But also, Fields was a headache in his own right because their passing offense was pretty darn limited. Like, we played combination coverage against that team, and we don't do that versus like anybody else. because there was so much of like, okay, we're going to have like 2 routes on this side of the field and we're going to roll them that way. Like, y'all remember how much of that there was. So it's like, yeah, he's dangerous as heck as a runner, but it's almost like kind of a balancing act there because he's not as dangerous as a passer. It's not like they're going spread. You got 5 options on the field. Josh Allen to me is so dangerous because they don't have to close the field for him to still be an effective runner. And I think he's just dangerous. Go ask the Rams. Like, are the Rams trash against, to your point, are the Rams trash against running quarterbacks? Or is it just the fact that Josh Allen just did amazing things and he made guys miss in space? You know what I mean? Like, it's on the deal. I think there's a lot of mobile quarterbacks that their pass game is not diverse. So you kind of get a balancing act of like, okay, we have to just stop that first. Then the pass game, it's a little bit limited. And then there's other quarterbacks where it's like, hey, if they can do both, now we got a problem. And there's just not many of those guys out there that truly do both well. I think Josh Allen is one of the best at it just because it still plays within an offense that's not like everything's a design run. They'll have a few design runs in there, but they'll still play like your typical offense. I don't know, though. I still don't think Josh Allen's like an elite drop back pass. I think there's real occasions where he just misses throws. Like, I wasn't prepared for that. And shout out to Ed, because Ed was talking about the 3-game thing. I see you, Ed. Like, there were throws that throws that he wouldn't make where it's like, I don't even think he's seeing this in coverage. Like, he's not getting to that progression-wise. That doesn't mean he's a bad passer, but it was like, all right, he's just not getting there. I wouldn't say that he's Joe Burrow. He's definitely not Joe Burrow in the pocket. I'm just being honest. But he obviously has an ability to take off, which is way better. Well, I mean, Joe Burrow's been moving around this season. I don't want to do him like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to do him like that. Hold up. My man's name is Chiefs Easy 3-peat 2025. Yo, why'd you spell it like that, bro? Why you spell it like that? Was the S taken? Chiefs, let me know. Was the S taken, dog? My man says overrated, overhyped. Okay. One-hit wonders. Ooh, one-hit wonders. For real? We kind of two-hit wonders. Hey, at very least, we two-hit wonders now, Chiefs. Let's keep it a buck. We two-hit wonders right now if we're being real. We gotta, you know what I mean? We gotta be fair. All right? No, he said no history. Oh, we got history. Chiefs, are you telling me you didn't watch when Bobby Lane was cooking? What? When Joe Schmidt was doing work as a player and a coach? Chiefs, what are you talking about, dog? You don't remember 1952? Or 1953 or 57? Not 1952. I don't think we won the chip in 52. Shout out the Chiefs, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I appreciate y'all in the chat, man. Y'all in the chat. Shout out to my man Josh. I see you, Josh. Josh, how you doing? Rob's in the building. My man Flathead Frank. What's up, man? Yo, Kirby's gonna get chances today. That's the one thing I'd say about their offense, like where they do, I think, lack some diversity, is there's just a lot of we're gonna take it. I think I told this easy. I may have said on the video, like they remind me of Philadelphia. I think I actually said this on that crunch time. It reminds me of Philly. Singled up wide receivers on the outside, big bodies on the outside, Keon Coleman, Matt Collins, Amari Cooper, and they're going to take shots one-on-one. They're just going to put it up there and see what happens. That alone is going to give Kirby Joseph opportunities. It's just gonna put him in the mix immediately because we know that he can make a play on those. So he's going to have a chance today. That being said, though, it also stresses the heck out of our corners. I love the matchup for Terrion. I love the matchup. Look, if Terrion's running against Keon, let's go. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here for that. He might get beat a couple times. Keon's a good receiver in college, but I'm rolling with Terrion. Let's get it. If Carlton's matched on Amari, let's roll. I got no concern about that. Let's play one-on-one. Let's make it happen. So they remind me of Philly in that sense. They have a big-time run game they're trying to lean into with a quarterback that can be a part of it, and then they have the big-body receivers they're going to take shots to. It definitely doesn't look like our passing attack. It's not like that. They're not rolling over the intermediate levels of the field. They're going vertical a lot, and then they have their screens attached. Oh, Josh coming back with some heat, Chiefs. Chiefs, you got to be ready, bro. We're coming at your neck, dog. NFL team that performs best against running quarterbacks. That's wild. That sounds like Chat GPT thing. All right, shout out to Google. Shout out to Google, man. That defense is garbage this year, but shout out to Google. Yeah. I don't know if it's quarterbacks running or not, but man, that defense, I don't know what the heck happened over there. They lost Patrick Queen, and they just went straight downhill, I guess. I don't know. Terranoro's first pick today. Look, man, if he gets a pick against this team, I would have to think it'd be like an underthrow because like Josh held it too long and then he kind of threw it late, which he will do. Or it's off a tip or something. But if he gets like a straight pick, if they throw it deep and he just takes it away, which he's very capable of, my goodness, that would be nasty. That would be nasty. Do we run all over them like the Ravens did? I think we're going to run the ball well. Now, I do think that they have very solid pieces, and most teams do. But I think that their defensive line personnel is much better than what they rank out as. Like if I just gave you their defensive line personnel, you wouldn't expect it to be really bad against the run. I mean, think about it. If I say, okay, you got Daquan Jones, Ed Oliver, Gregory Rousseau, and Von Miller, you're like, oh, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, yeah, and your backup. You got A.J. Epinesa that's going to rotate in. You got man Quentin Jefferson who's going to play on the edge. Austin Johnson, I think former Charger and Ram, at nose tackle that'll slide in there. Like, that's not too bad. And then at linebacker, we're going to give you Matt Milano, who's back now, and we're going to give you Bernard at linebacker as well. And then Teron Johnson, because we stay in nickel all the time, and he plays the run. He's excellent against run. Their safeties tackle well. They're aggressive as heck. You'd be like, and their cornerbacks are long and physical. You're like, that's probably a good run defense. I think that they're inconsistent in the interior. I think that you can kind of take their edges out of the game. You can kind of take their edge rushers out of the game. You could do it schematically. They're going to get negatives. Ed Oliver is going to just disrupt a couple plays, blow things up, but you can move them off the point, a couple of combo blocks, and I don't think their linebacker plays great. I think it's different now with Matt Milano back versus what we've seen other teams when they had to face like Dorian Williams. Is that his name, Dorian Williams? Is that the Tulane player? Like, I don't think he was fantastic. I think they're much better with Matt Milano. Like, he'll actually just make some plays against the run. You know what Matt Milano kind of reminds me of like when you would play Tampa Bay, and you'd go into that, and it's like, who's that older linebacker they got over there? I can't think of dude's name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Like, he's very well known. And you go into that, and you're like, he struggled this season, that kind of thing. And then you get into the game, and he's making plays, and you're like, dang. This dude's kind of a dog. Like, I didn't see that at all. That's what Matt Milano gives me the vibe of, is like you may start like looking too deep into the numbers, and then you pull back and realize, like, wait a minute, this guy is a dog. You know what I mean? He's gonna have one of those games where he could just go crazy. So I think that's what he reminds me of a little bit. I can't think of dude's name though. I don't know. It's not Devin White. It was the guy that plays next to. I can't think of his name. But that's what it makes me think of. But it's not a bad front. Like, it's not bad personnel at all. They have dudes up front. I appreciate you, ARF. Or is it ARF? I don't. Him Patrick. I love that. Him Patrick. Saint Tim Patrick. Is that what it is? Saint Tim Patrick. Buffalo Baker. Buda Baker. Sorry. Well, Buda Baker's a good one too. Buda Baker's a dog. Buda Baker's a straight dog. No, I'm thinking of their off-ball backer. I can't think of. Levante David. Yes, Jeff and Keith. Yep. Levante David's like that. Like, Levante David would have them stretches where people would be like, I don't know if Levante's got it anymore. And then you play the Bucs and you would absolutely blow up everything and you wouldn't miss any tackles. And you're like, man, Levante David's still that dude. That's what Matt Milano gives me the vibes is, man. And I think Matt Milano changes a lot because I don't think their linebacker room's that great. And I think the fact that they are very willing to just say in nickel says a lot about how they feel about Teron Johnson. But it also says a lot about this. If you play a team that's not going to match your personnel, right? Like if we came into a game and I know that if I put two tight ends on the field, they're not going to put an extra linebacker. They're going to roll two linebackers. They're going to sit in nickel. If you knew that coming in, everybody's approach would probably be the same. All right, let's put more big bodies out there. Let's run the football. Because everybody's got to be thinking the same. Like, they're not going to match it. But then Buffalo is willingness to be like, yeah, we don't care. It says a lot about how well they actually still play out of those spots, but it's also that not every team can go into that and fully take advantage like they want to, ideally. And I think for our sake, tight ends, I love the way that they block. I love our tight ends run blocking. I think Laporta's gotten so much better this year. I think he's done really well against Green Bay, and we're coming off a Green Bay game. Shane Zylstra did some things last week, like Brock Wright. We got guys playing fullback. I like our tight ends a lot. I like the matchup for us. Maybe not every team. I like it for us. We'll see if that plays out. Lions will blow out the Bills. What's the headline tomorrow? Is that the headline, Ed? Are you telling me Lions will blow out the Bills? The headline tomorrow? Ooh, I like that. Jared Goff, the real superhero. Stop. That was garbage. But it could be. Hey, yo. Wait. No, I don't know what the headline is. You know what? Man, that's tough. I would say this. Jared Goff swings MVP voting overnight. Just like that. He goes from like 5th to like 1st, kind of, maybe 2nd. It's going to swing, or very it's going to go one of these. Overnight. I'm telling you, man, when you start to realize who some of these voters are, these dudes aren't out here breaking it down. You know what I mean? And that's okay. But I'm saying it's like, and I'll be fair, this would be like me. If I was voting for the MVP, I'd be like, oh man, I know Goff really well, so that's fantastic, and I'd vote for Goff anyway. But once I started looking at the other teams, I get to players where I'm like, all right, let me look at his numbers. And then it's like, all right, well, now you're taking so much away from it. Like, if we're just looking at numbers, what are we talking about? But that's what it is. That's what it is, and that's okay, but that's what the MVP is. So just winning that game can really swing votes just like that for Goff. Just that simply, because everybody's going to see it. They're going to be like, oh, they did win, though. They did win, though. And then all of a sudden, the numbers are going to switch. They're going to flip, man. People are going to start to buy into that. And to me, that's all it's going to take. The passing numbers are super similar, so people will throw up the graphics. And if they continue that way, the passing numbers are incredibly similar, right? Goff has the 5 interception game. And this is how tells you all you need to know. The voters constantly bring that up. Oh, 5 interceptions. But it's like, okay, we're not going to add no context to it. So the same thing can happen by just beating Josh Allen if he is, because Josh Allen is by far the favorite. Like, he's not the favorite. He is by far the favorite right now to win this. So you win that football game, all of a sudden, I don't think it guarantees he wins it. But I think it goes like this. And you're like, wait a minute. There will be a conversation. Because I'm telling you, if there was a world in which the Lions went 16-1 this year, I'd be very shocked if he didn't win it. I think it'd be hard to keep it away from him, unless Saquon just broke the record. Even then, there'd be a conversation. I actually have we got players to watch. We got to go to players to watch. I have the graphic for the stats, but I'll pull that up later. We got players to watch. I think we got a Bills guy in here. I missed it. Bills get buffaloed. Ooh, okay. 44-31. That's a lot of points. Y'all all rolling the over. I'm rolling the under for this one. Lions solidify themselves as a team to beat. Okay, I rock with that, Ed. Now, that's clean. That's clean. I feel like you had that ready, though. You kind of set me up for failure. Bills fan here. The Bills play a bend-don't break defense on purpose. If the Bills get the win, it's because they make 4th down stops or because they play it on purpose. You think that they're trying to give up yards? Because my thing is like, you guys, I think if the numbers are right, like, you guys don't play as well on 3rd down as I expected. Like, statistically, it's not as good. Yeah, well, hold up. It could be the flip side. Yeah, 26th on 3rd down, 16th in the red zone. So it's not great numbers-wise, but to your point, I thought you guys were better situationally by just watching the Bills. But because I do think there's similarities to the way that we play. Like, when you guys get to 3rd down, you're going to button that thing up. Like, you're going to button it up. If it's 3rd and 5, you're going to go man coverage. You're going to button it up. You may get aggressive. You may drop out, but you're going to go straight man across the board, and you got to find someone that can go win. And then you guys have a really good secondary. Now, I do believe, to your point, the 4th down stops is an excellent point, because I completely, that was something I thought as well. So you saying that, for me, it kind of like makes me believe that what I thought is probably accurate, because you watch the Bills all the time. When I watch the Bills, if you fall behind the chains, if it's 3rd and forever, you got to play for 4th down. Not even 3rd, if it's 3rd and 10, you might have to play for going forward on 4th down. Now, for the Lions, that's perfect. Like, yeah, we'll go for it. We don't care. But you kind of have to play for that, because the Bills will settle on the sticks. They're not playing like the don't give up any yards. They're playing like the don't give up the 1st down to the bend don't break point. And then it becomes 4th down. Can you convert it in that spot when it's 4th down and 2? Or are you even willing to go for it when it's 4th down and 2? Because I think the Bills also look like, yo, we're going to score some darn touchdowns so you can take your field goals. So I think from that spot, completely agree with you. And I even had that wrote in my notes. Play for 4th down on 3rd and long. Like, it's I'm looking right at it. So yeah, I'm with you there. We're going to get to our players to watch here in a sec. My bad. This thing is acting goofy. But I wanted to... Who was that? Who's the Bills guy that commented that? I think it's right here. Time to eat some bison. Aleem, DJ, Josh, Levi. Man, I'm hoping all these guys are back. I mean, I expect that they're all back for this one. None of them are on the injury report. I expect that they're all going to be active. But yeah, right here. Right here. Just what we were talking about. All right, let's go to players to watch. I have to move this. Or my players to watch. Chat, throw your players to watch in the chat. Here are mine. Usually I do the other side too. We can kind of talk through it, but these are my Lions players to watch. I have Tim Patrick, of course. I think I had him on there last week too, and hey, man, he was great last week, so why not put him on there again? Which 1 p.m. we got? Which 1 p.m. game have we got? Isn't the no, I think both games are night games. Yeah, Packers are night, and then tomorrow's the Vikings. I don't even know which games are at 1 that are that good. Chad, what game are y'all looking for at 1? But yeah, Tim Patrick for me. Tim Patrick was great last week. I love the matchup today. I think if he gets Jamarcus Ingram, he could win against Jamarcus. Rasul Douglas being out, I love it even more. I really do. I think it's a good spot for him. I like screens as well. I think it's a good spot for him. I love him with the ball in his hands. Ali McNeil. I think Ali McNeil could cook. Now, I mean, you can go anybody here, but to me, you can put every defensive lineman because, keep him in the pocket. That's first and foremost. But I do think if we're just looking at it from a matchup spot, he may see some Osiris Torrance. I like that. At left guard, David Edwards. I like that. So I like that he could win in the inside there. I think he could be in line for a massive game against the run specifically, and that's where it starts. I think last time we played the Bills, we played the run really well on early downs. We were aggressive against it, and our defensive line made a lot of plays. So that to me, that's – and I think last time we played Buffalo, I don't even know if Torrance was in the league, if I remember right. He may have been. It may have been the rookie year, but it may not. Kevin Zeitler, because he's probably going to see some Ed Oliver. Put Graham Glasgow here too, either one. But I kind of am interested in Kevin in this game because I think for run blocking, he's the guy that I like with the double teams. He gets off the ball well. He gets up to the second level versus a fast-moving linebacker core. And I think based on how we may run it today, I want to see, because I think you could lean behind Zeitler a little bit today. So I want to see how that plays out. And Sewell, of course, they're next to each other. I'm going Brian Branch. I need to initially put Kirby Joseph. I'm going Branch, because I think Branch, especially in a lot of third downs, is going to be rolling down. He's going to be settled in the middle of the field. He may be trying to help take away Khalil Shakir, giving help there. He may be stepping down to kind of double team of Amari Cooper. I think he's going to be kind of like a gadget piece. And then, of course, running the football, like we talked about earlier, jumbo sets, multiple tight ends on the field. He's going to be one of those safeties that are in the box a lot. So Brian Branch, to me, is going to see a lot of work there. And then at cornerback, man, it's kind of that slot/backer role. Jamal Adams, Amik Robertson. Last week it was Trevor Nowaski. Whoever else you want to throw in that mix, just that positional group in general, right? Meek's going to see Khalil Shakir, and then how much does Jamal Adams see the field? We talked about that. And finally, St. Brown. I usually don't put St. Brown on here, but I put him on here today. St. Brown's the guy I trust, and we have a really strong secondary, well-rounded. He's the guy that I trust to go win. I think I hit his over on receptions today. I think that was the prop, was over on reception, 6.5. I just trust St. Brown in these spots. I trust the idea to sing him up on, put him on singled up sides, go 3-by-1. Maybe go 4-by-1 empty a few times. Get him one-on-one with a cornerback and just take that matchup, right? Just see what that turns into. I think St. Brown's in a good spot there. So those are my players to watch. You mess with Bills fans. We could talk through the Bills players to watch for me. But for now, I'm just going to leave it there. You guys takes are fire. Raid Dan, Buffalo Bills preview, and leave score prediction. Yeah, shout out to Dan. Shout out to Dan, Flathead. Hey, that's what we're going to do. Is Dan live right now, Flathead? If he's live when we get out of here, because I don't know when he's ending it, I want to do that. Let's raid Dan after we're done here. All right, I want to be done by 1. So when we're done over here, let's do that. If he's still live, let's do that. You know what I mean? I'll put the link in the chat and everything. I'm hoping for Allen to have 12 to 15 passes all game. That would be amazing. Yeah, that'd be amazing. This would be fantastic. Get him behind, turn the football over one time. Forcing something. Make them a drive-by passing team. Make them have to throw the ball all the time. And I understand they did it against the Rams, but so much of it was Josh Allen just bailing them out. And he may do that again today, but I'd rather live with that. I want them to be a drive-by passing team. It's a very good offensive line. But I don't trust them if they constantly have to be a drive-by passing team. And that's the case for most teams. But I don't think they're the same at all when they have to throw the ball all the time. They don't look the same. So for me, I want to see how that plays out, man. I think I want them in that spot more often than not. The more we get them in that spot, I think we come out aggressive early. Look, it's an AFC matchup. It's not like we're playing the Vikings for the division today. Let's go be aggressive. Let's let it fly. If we, whatever happens. We make some mistakes. I don't see there's much to lose today, man. You know what I mean? Let's just roll it. Let's put some aggression on. See if we can jump on them early, and then go from there. They stay in 2 linebacker sets no matter what's going on. It's unique, and it's unique. And Teron, he's a dog. Are the Lions good when trailing? Not familiar, but Goff gets MVP love when I see it all on him. It's a good question. I would say this year. So I was going through each game for that this season to try to see how we did in those spots. Tampa Bay was probably our worst offensive performance this year. It was week 2. We lost that game. Defense gave us 4 opportunities. Basically created 3 4-and-outs, or at 4 4-and-outs second half. We didn't score a touchdown on any of those possessions. So that was not a game that we were good when trailing. Outside of that, though, we've come through when trailing this year. I think the big thing for us is being able to keep it into not being fully drop back pass. Like, I think we're better built than we were last year with Zeitler. But if it has to become like you have to drop back and throw every play, probably not ideal. I mean, probably not ideal. Like, it's not for anybody. And I don't think we've been in that situation that much this year. Houston would have been the closest thing, but they never really got us to that spot. Outside of that, we really haven't been in that spot. We've had like clutch drives, I think. We've had, like, we came through in certain spots. We really haven't trailed like that this season. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're capable. Like, if it's within 2 scores, we're fine. If we're down 28-0 in the third quarter, yeah, that could be a problem. You know what I mean? That could be a problem because then everything is a must. You kind of stop running the football. Like, but if it's we're down 14 with 8 minutes, so we got the ball, they'll be fine because they'll still try to run the football, and then they'll trust their defense getting back on the field. So it's just that you can't get to a spot where you literally can't run anymore. I don't think it's a spot that anybody's great. I don't think we're great there. But as long as within 2, I think we're okay. We're down early to Minnesota. We're down 10-0. We're down 10-0, and then we got the touchdown. In that game, we fell back 29-28, and then we had the clutch drive, right? We went down the field, we ran the ball, we threw the ball. Goff had some big throws, we got a field goal. So, like, yeah, I trust him in those spots. I don't think. See, okay, and to me, coming into that game, I was expecting them to throw it a ton. That's how we play Tampa. I think that now I do agree with the fact that when Vita went out, maybe they should have tried to run more. I don't know that schematically they were honestly there. Like, not schematically, I don't know that they were actually executing. When they did run, they usually didn't go well. I remember going back through that game, we left a lot on the table. We didn't block well. We ran a screen, nobody blocked anybody. Like, there was multiple occasions where we just got plays blown up. But yeah, our first down efficiency was horrible. It's been way better since that time. But just coming into that game, I expect the Lions to throw the heck out of the football because that's how they played Tampa every time. So to me, that game wasn't like I hear it all the time, like when I watch other shows and they're like, oh man, Ben just tried to get too cute. I'm like, I don't think he tried to get too cute. That's how he plays Tampa, right? He tries to put the ball in the air, and that's, there's certain matchups for that. But to your point, when Vita went down, I would have liked to see them try to get downhill more. I think everything they tried to consistently do wide in that game was the problem. I wasn't maybe mad at like the attempts. It was more so the fact of how they were doing it. Like, I would have tried to just go straight at them instead of, because we like to do our outside zones and stuff like that. But I think there's a point in time where it's like, all right, maybe that you're getting too cute with. Maybe just go some dual runs and double team these dudes and push them around, especially when Vea came out. So I agree with you from that perspective. I expect a lot of passes coming in, so it didn't shock me that they did. But man, also, we just didn't execute anything on that. Like Goff didn't look right. Let me be honest, the first 2 weeks look weird. You know what I mean? First 2 weeks look weird, Keith. I think we all agree on that. We looked goofy as heck on offense. We look goofy. We look a little goofy. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. I think for us, we got to go to, we got players to watch. You think we could beat Tampa? Bro, and that's my point. If we play Tampa again, we would absolutely destroy Tampa. And I'm not even saying that, I have zero concerns about Tampa, Ed. You know what I mean? I would love to play Tampa again. I think we'd beat them by 2 touchdowns, at least. I think we would smoke that team. I don't think Tampa was any bit better than us. I thought their offense had 2 plays. They had the one, which was a nice route design. It bit our coverage. Terry got bit. They did like the fake screen, scored a touchdown. And then and then Baker Mayfield did some things off script, that picked up like big first downs. And that's the concern today, because with Baker, they weren't really expecting it, and he did it. And that was like their whole offense. They really didn't have any offense. They just had Baker running around a few times. Then they had one big play. And it was like, all right, they scored 20 points. And if you look at the second half, they basically went like 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. They did nothing on offense. It's just that we also did nothing on offense. Gone through like the ugliest interception of the year. It is a disaster. If we played them again, Ed, bro, run it back, bro. I would love to run that back. I think we would demolish the Buccaneers, bro. The Buccaneers don't want to see us in the playoffs, dog. I'm going to be straight up with you. They don't want to see us in the playoffs, bro. Because that would be one of those games where if we got that matchup, people would be like, ooh, the Bucs beat them once. The Bucs beat them one time. And it's like, all right. All right. Y'all believe that. And then we see him, and I think we destroyed that team. And yeah, we left the 3 points out there. I forgot about the dang 3 points, man. And then the interception took off 3 points too. I think we blow out the Eagles. Man, Eagles are tough. I'll get it to him. Eagles are tough. He was going at J-Mo. You remember? Yeah, he was going at J-Mo. And I think it's paid off well. This is another one of those games where it's like, all right, if he's seeing Christian Benford, like, how is that going to play out? You know what I mean? Like, if he's got Christian Benford today, I don't think he deals with speed that well. But if we're not, I don't want to see J-Mo running deep curl, like I don't want to see that garbage. Bro, let him cross the middle of the field, let him run some speed outs, get him in some fast motion like we did last week, get him in some flats. Do stuff like that for J-Mo, and I think he'd have a good matchup with Benford. I don't want to see J-Mo trying to run a deep comeback route 15 yards on Christian Benford. Like, I think that's going to be a disaster. Trying to get the rust off. It was a disaster. Hey, my man Keith. Keith, what is the picture here? What is this? Did you make that? That looks like a picture that you made. Did you make that? I like it. It looks like fall. It's got good vibes. It's got good vibes, Keith. Keith, I appreciate you being here. Tabby was super sloppy. What up, no? You still have that podcast about the North Division? Yes. I haven't seen a notification all the season. What? Nah, man, we've been rolling, man. The NFC North Roundtable? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about something different? You might be talking about something different. If you talk about the Roundtable, absolutely. And actually, we got something big kicking off this week on the Roundtable. It's not on the NFC North Roundtable. NFC North Roundtable is still going. Wednesdays, we're live at 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Fridays, we drop our preview video. But we have something on the what is it called? Roundtable Sports. We have something on Roundtable Sports dropping this week that I'm involved in that's pretty darn fire. I can't say what it is, but it's going to be heat. It's going to be heat. It's episode 1, but it's gonna be. Love the Roundtable. I appreciate it, man. Shout out to the Roundtable, man. If we face the Rams in the playoffs, shout out to everybody that joins in and watches those, man. That's a lot of fun. Ben Johnson should get fired if we don't run for 200 yards. If we face the Rams, I don't want to see Stafford. Been there, done that. No, that's facts. That's fact. I agree with you on that one. I'm way more worried about the Rams than the Bucs. Give me the Bucs all day long. You know what I mean? I'll play the Bucs 4 times. We'll beat them all 4 times. I have zero concerns about the Bucs. Rams? You know what I mean? Like, their offensive line isn't great, all right? But they have a little bit of run. They're just balanced now. They're balanced now. And the thing is, you can cover Puka perfectly, and it's kind of like Josh in some way, where it's like, you got Josh, you got him. And then you miss a tackle because he goes one of these numbers. It's like, oh, gosh. It's like what Baker did to Malcolm. He had to play, and he juked the heck out of him. That's what you get with Josh Allen. He did Rams a couple times. He takes it off, makes the guy miss. It's like, oh, all right, you got 12 yards. That's what's Puka and Stafford, where it's like you have him covered beautifully. That happened to the Bills last week. The Bills had great coverage last week. And I'm telling you, the secondary is legit for Buffalo. And then somehow he still got the ball. They're great. Man, that connection is great. Would you rather a Eagles-Lions or Rams-Lions NFC Championship? Would I rather, like, for winning? I think for chance to win, I probably would rather run Eagles, because I think it'd be like a good matchup of back and forth. And I know Eagles fans, man. Shout out to my Eagles fans, bro. Good dudes, man. They're super passionate. So I'd love to see that matchup. I think it'd be fun, a lot of crap talk. But I also think that the Rams and Lions would be amazing. I'd love to run that back. I think the storyline of that against Stafford vs. Goff would be fantastic. I mean, I'm here for it, dude. I'm here for all of it. I'm here for all of it. The hatred. I'm here for all of it, bro. I love me some Stafford. I love Goff. So I'm here for all of it. Let's run it. Does Branch have a day? I think Branch has a day today. Yes, I think he's gonna be involved a lot. He's on by Players Watch. I have 6 players to watch. He's on there. Players to watch: Tim Patrick, Ali McNeil, Kevin Zeitler, Brian Branch, Amik / Jamal, and Amon Ra. A-Ra. I don't know how you say his name, to be honest with you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you there. I would love to play the Rams on Thursday. Yeah, hey, that was a disaster. You know what, though? And I started watching that late, so I was like, okay, I missed probably a lot. Start watching, I think it was like 0-0. No, it's 3-0. All right, I missed nothing. I'm actually glad I missed the majority of the first half. Dude had 20 passing yards at halftime. I thought I was watching Anthony Richardson, man. I didn't make it. Google automatically set it up. Oh, okay. Google hooked you up. It looked good. Have your video down. I have been watching your channel since the beginning, back when you started. Dang. Keith, your name, you got a new picture then, because the name's familiar, but I know Keith Jackson. It's the picture. You changed your picture, I feel like. That picture does not look right. That does not ring a bell. You going to the game? Nah, I ain't going to the game, man. I wanted to. You know what I mean? Y'all saw them ticket prices, though. Stop playing. I ain't going to no dang game. Shoot, man. They need to hook me up for that to be the case. I go to game. I'm going to go one game. I'm going to one game, and that's it. I really want to go to the playoff. I really want to go to the playoff game, but those like 3 times regular season prices. And plus, we got the Bleacher Report stream after, so it's like if I go to the game, I can't do the Bleacher Report stream, which is sad. And it's like I like doing the Bleacher Report stream, so I don't, you know what I mean? I I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I don't want to miss that. I have to set that up early. I can't do that on like a whim because then at that point it's like I didn't really tell anybody. Well, I would, but it'd be so late and they'd have to scramble to find someone. So I don't want to do that unless it's not already scheduled. So I'm looking at Minnesota for the last game of the year. If I go to one, maybe Minnesota. Because that might be for the division. It may not be. Regardless, though, Lions will probably play starters anyway because it's Dan Campbell. That's what I'm looking at. I'd love to go to the playoffs, though. If you advertise, you would have 50K. How do I advertise, Randy Q? You let me know, man. Almost 400%. It's insane, bro. I heard that you're supposedly getting Marquise Brown back eventually. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. And, yeah, no, I believe that. I think Xavier Worthy's been a miss. They missed on that one. I didn't think he was a bad player. I just didn't think he was like first round kind of guy. I was pretty shocked when they took him, but we'll see. It might get better. It might get better. It's not all on him. Not on him. But yeah, that makes sense. Brown will help him. For sure. Their problem though, because I took the Browns, and I don't know when they play. I took the Browns. Their problem is their tackle situation. Well, it's Mahomes too, because Mahomes holds the football. Like Goff got trash tackles, he's just gonna throw it at the ground. Okay, Mahomes has trash tackles, he's still gonna make a play or try to make a play. That's their problem, bro. Their offensive line's kind of garbage. And now DJ Humphrey's out again, or out this week. We got the 1 o'clock games kicking off. Kansas City at Cleveland, Cincinnati at Tennessee, Washington, New Orleans, Dallas, Carolina. Man, a lot of garbage. Jets, Jacksonville, Baltimore Giants. Not a lot of great games. Miami, Houston. Chat, not a lot of heat. I'm going to be, not a lot of heat at 1 o'clock. Does Bleacher Report actually compensate you for those streams? I do. I do. They do take care of us. But I love doing it, man. It's good people over there. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. You got to find the good people that are like trying to go out of their way. You know, those people that go out of their way to kind of like line you up, hook you up, that kind of thing. That's Bleacher Report. You know what I mean? They're great. They're great. So I love doing shows for them. I hate when I have to miss something for them. And then they take care of us. Just say subscribe and like right at the beginning. You know what? I've never really done that. I always thought it was kind of weird, but I think I might have to do that. Cause I don't know. Like, I don't know how often that's actually like a thing, but it probably is. You know what I mean? I definitely should probably start doing that. Maybe I'll put a sign up or something. I always felt weird saying that. Cause like, hey, if you like it, you'll subscribe. But I guess in fairness, some people just don't do it. They say they forget. So maybe I should. I don't know. I can also tell them, like, yo, if you don't like it, dislike it, dog. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. Hey, do what you got to do. You got to dislike it anyway. That's the thing. People never forget where the dislike button is. I mean, let's keep it real. Chad, let's keep it real. If you don't like a video, you're never going to forget that there's a dislike button there. But if you like it, you may forget that there's a button to subscribe. But if you don't like it, you're like, wait a minute. Where's that dislike button, dog? Slide down. There it is. You know what I mean? People never forget where that is. You know what I'm saying? Who's better, Xavier Legette or Keon Coleman? I think Coleman's better. I think he'll be better. But Legette's been good. Man, I wish he would have caught that pass against Philly, man. I thought they won. But I would say I think Keon's going to be better. I think a better situation. Though Bryce Young's doing work. Legette surprised me. He's been better than I thought this year. You know what I mean? Good for him, man. I also didn't know that, he was like, what is he, like super Southern or something? Like he said that he eats raccoons or something. I'm like, oh, goodness, dog. Hey, that's all right. Each their own, but I think Keon's going to be better. I don't know, though. I think Legette has a higher ceiling. I think you can make the case Legette has a higher ceiling. Like, he's kind of a freak. I think Keon Coleman's just, for being able to jump in, get himself open, kind of have like a more consistent path of success, I think he does. But, yeah, Legette, hey, if you could find the right way to use him, like, I don't want to say he's Traylon Burks, but Traylon Burks, I think there's some similarities. Like, when Burks came out, it was like, okay, how's this going to work? In a bad situation, and that's just been a disaster. I don't know. I think there's some similarities there, unfortunately. And, but Legette's been better than that. Legette's been better this year. Browns fumble? Oh, goodness. See, this is why you can't take the Browns, bro. See that? This is why you can't take the Browns. I loved everything about the matchup, and then the Browns are going to go out here and fumble their first drive. Great. Who fumbled? Did Jameis fumble? I know Nick Chubb asked for money. Did Jameis fumble? You love Coon? Hey, you love Raccoon? Look, man, I've never had it. I don't know. I remember we had deer one time, and it was fantastic. This is amazing. Casey recovered. My goodness, bro. There's certain teams that just frustrate me because I can't like bet on them. Or not even bet on them, but I can't pick them. Like I want to like it. I'm like, ooh, that match will look good. And they play and it's just, are you serious? It's the Jets. The Jets are the other team. I'm like, this makes a ton of sense. I took them over to Seattle. I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to blow them out. They're blowing them out. I'm like, this is an amazing pick. They went up there. They just found a way to lose that football game, man. I feel bad for the fan base. But my God. Oh, fumble on punt returner. Okay, that's not as bad then. They forced the punt. That's not as bad. It's kind of like, they're just moving the football. All right. That's better. We're still in the game. Save raccoons. Raccoons look cool. Raccoons look really cool. I like those little, those like beaver looking things and brown. I can't think what they're called. Woodchucks. Woodchucks look sweet. We got like woodchuck that'll sit out here. And that thing, that dude will tan in the sun. Straight up. Like I've seen this dude when it's warm outside. Like there's a shed. He just chilling like that. He just plopped up, leaning back on the shed. Yo, and he'll be there all day, bro. That man's chilling. I'm not even mad at him. Like, hey, it's probably warm. You know what I mean? Like he's doing his thing. And nobody bothers him or nothing. He's like, my car is there. He's laying right next to it. I think it's fantastic. I love this dude, man. Like, bro, I need one of these. Yo. I hope if anyone leaves, they don't take assistant coaches with them. I love Hank Fraley. Bro, I'm glad he's still here, man. I remember there was like buzz that he wouldn't be here long. I'm glad he's still here. Sam Darnold, a fraud or no? I'll be honest. I thought earlier this season, Sam was a little bit of a fraud. In the sense of, like, I didn't think he was, like, that dude, like, in the NFC, and the numbers were good. Like, I was watching him, like, oh, he's just fourth and things downfield. He was good. Don't get it wrong. He's good. But he was, like, making very questionable decisions. But, man, he's been he's been really good the last few weeks. Like, he's legit. And if I'm Minnesota, I'm definitely bringing it back for next year at least. But I think Minnesota's a legitimate case to be like, yeah, it doesn't matter who's quarterback. We're just going to be really good on offense. So, yeah, be fair. I mean, it's an amazing situation, and their offensive coach is as good as it gets in football. Kevin O'Connell just knows what the heck he's doing. So, I mean, he's in a great spot, but I'll give it to him, man. He's doing work. And there's not, maybe a lot of great defenses, but he does work against them. So I'll give it to Sam. Sam's been on a heater. These last 5 weeks, I think he's been amazing. He's been amazing. Take a screenshot of your buddy. I got a picture of that woodchuck chilling. I got a picture of him laying against the thing. One last shout out, man. Let's give a shout out to BetUS, man. YouTube 150. You're in it right now. You're looking for your sports book. That's the code. 150% deposit match on your first deposit. 125% the next two. So if you don't have an account, you don't have a sports book, you're looking to sign up, jump on BetUS, man. Someone said they were getting better lines on BetUS. Might as well at least check them out. You don't need to deposit money. Just sign up. Make an account. You can start to see these live betting odds. Right now, game's just kicking off. What's this? Did they got the Chiefs one in here? No, they ain't got the Chiefs in here right now. Maybe I got to refresh it, but they don't got the Chiefs in here right now. Chat, let's pick one of these. Let's do it. Chicago, Minnesota. Chat, where are you all at on this one? Honestly, both of these. Like, Green Bay, Seattle. I think Seattle's going to win, but none of our NFC North teams win or lose, so it's never a good bet. I think Minnesota wins. I would take Minnesota -7. And I would take Seattle money line. I think I'd roll the Seattle money line. Because I think if they lose, they're not going to keep it close. Like, if they lose, they're probably going to get destroyed. They'll probably get destroyed up front. They have to play, like, a specific game, I think, to win. And I think their quick passing attack they had last week could work. Yeah, I don't know. I think those are both interesting, but I think Seattle's actually got a legitimate shot to win. I don't know about Chicago. I hope so, though. That'd be amazing. I just don't think it's going to happen. Hey, Dion, how does your dad feel about the Lions right now? He's been waiting a long time for this. I think that he's just, like, in shock a lot of times when he's watching it, man. I'll have to get him on to hop back here one time. I think he's just, like, surprised all the time watching the Lions. You know what I mean? Like, he'll always remind me, like, man, I cannot believe we won another one straight. Because it's funny. We used to talk about it, and he would be like, problem with the Lions, we can't ever win 3 in a row. And we used to tell him, we can't ever win 3 in a row. And he was, we were always, like, back and forth. And then I remember 2014, we had, like, a 5-game winning streak. Because this brings back memories. 2014, we were watching. We won our first game. We won on, like, primetime. I think we beat the Giants, and we went to B-dubs for that. Because this is before YouTube. Then we watched the Panthers, and the Panthers beat us 24-7. Right? They handled business. That's Cam Newton. They handled business. And the discussion afterwards is like, this team's done. This team's done. And I was like, no, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be good. It's like they're gonna start cooking. And they won like 5 in a row or something. And that's like the only time that it had ever happened, like up to that point, up until these last 2 years where the Lions actually got on a heater, or really these last 3 years, where they got on a heater. They won like 5 in a row. And that was like mind blowing. Like, wait a minute. They're actually winning a lot of games in a row here. And that was the year where it was like, well, man, preview that. And we just lost to the good teams that year. But, 11-5 was like, I remember when we went 11-5, and you know how Madden used to have the historical teams when the game was good? I was like, they should add that team to these. Like, they might have to put 2014 in here, because that was history, bro. 11-5 was tough. Because the historic Lions teams were always like 12-4. It's like, yo, they might have to put the 2014 Lions on here. So everything now is just doesn't make any sense, to be honest. I don't know. I think the problem is I get too caught up. Sometimes you get too caught up in the moment, right? And it's like we're this and we should be there. And it's just like, man, if you take a step back, bro, we're watching a team that's freaking 12-1. You know what I mean? Like, we should really appreciate this, man. I mean, you see these other teams in the league, the Browns darn fumble, man. Like, what is going on? 12-1, dude. This is rare. And then, set in history, win 11 straight. Like, I don't know. I think everybody's just kind of like lost in the moment. Like, it's hard to reflect on what's actually going on. Because it's like, I don't know what's happening, but keep doing it. You know what I mean? Keep finding a way. I don't understand it, but just, keep winning. Yeah, we are streaming during the game. The link, it should be posted now. There's no thumbnail on it, but it should be out now. So, the stream link. I've been waiting since I was born, 1957. Fan since 63. And this is probably weird for you, man. You probably don't know what to do. 2014 Lions were the original 2023 Cowboys. Facts. Facts. This is facts. This is unfortunately facts, bro. I remember we lost the Cardinals 14-6. The Patriots destroyed us. And that was the year we had that playoff game, man. We had to go on the road. Because then wasn't that the year where the last game of the season was Green Bay and we lost like 30-20? I think it was. It's like, oh man, we gotta go on the road. It's definitely what we were. We were definitely that team. Let me do this. I think Dan Mitchell might be live. Y'all were saying he was live. Let's see if he's live. Dan Mitchell is not live. Dan Mitchell's not live. Well, if Dan goes live, we'll go over there and we'll show some love, but he's not live right now. Okay. I thought he might be live. I don't know. He's not live right now. But show my man Dan some love. I think if he's live streaming the game, because I know he does that, we'll hop into like halftime. We'll show some love, kind of like Tom did over here. That was fire. But yeah, man. I think that's it for the show, man. YouTube 150, that's the coach. Shout out to BetUS. Appreciate y'all joining. Oh, no, we didn't do score predictions. Chat, throw your score predictions in, man. I forgot. Let's get the score predictions rolling. Give me your score predictions. And if you're right, you can screenshot. Put your message in, screenshot it. And that way, if you hit it, come back and then let me know. Come back and be like, yo, I hit it. Changing the thumbnail tomorrow. Oh, new thumbnail tomorrow. Okay, ranting. Okay. Hey, shout out to me. How about Michigan ranting, Q? You know what I mean? Handle it business, though. And now we get Bama, which is unfortunate. But we handle business. We did. Hey, season's right with me. 7-5. We'll take it. We beat Ohio State. I'm good. But 2014, Lions were building Stafford right arm. And that's the weird thing, too. Like, that was like his worst statistical season. Or not his worst, but it was one of his worst. I mean, that year we had that defense. Remember, the defense was outstanding in 2014. We just literally never had a run game. The defense was fantastic that year. Shoot, maybe now our defense actually might be better now, which is crazy. Lions 30 to Bills 25. 25 is crazy. I don't even know how that happens, but I see you. Maybe they go for 2, I guess. Yeah, I guess they could go for 2, right? 22-30. 34-31. Lions. 27-21. 38-23. Jordy's confident. 38-41. I've seen some of these, man. Seen some 40s. Some 40 pieces. 40-0. Okay. Super Bowl Wilson. All right. You rocking, is that Zach Wilson? Thanks. Lions 34, Bills. Oh, no. Lions 38, Bills 24. Man, that's another confident win. And a new picture here. That is the, what is that? Is that Sonic and Knuckles, or is that just, we got the tree. We got Sonic and Knuckles both on there now. Y'all see it? You know what I mean? We got Knuckles over here. Sonic on there somewhere. What the heck? Sonic kind of blending in there a little bit. Right? Have Dan Miller asked to come see again. Dude, yeah, we should have Dan Miller on again. He'd probably jump on, too. Dan's that kind of guy. Dan's that kind of guy. It might be a little bit harder during the season. I don't know. But maybe if we got a playoff bye week, I could hit him up, see if we can get him on for the playoffs. That'd be fire. I should ask him again. Dan was that dude, bro. Dan is that dude. Like, he was the guy, man. He got me into this, to be honest. So, yeah, Dan's that dude. And he's sweet that he jumps on shows like that. Remember we did a show with Rad with him. Yeah, that was a long time ago, though. Flag on Amani. I hate that for Amani with Dallas. Bro, I hated that for him, man. I got love for Amani, man. That was unfortunate. Lions by 5. Lions by 14. Lions by 6. Lions smacking 31-15. Lions by 3, Antonio. I see you. MCDC Coach of the Year. A lot of things are possible with win today. 35-31. Teddy Bridgewater won a high school championship in his first year. That's what we like to see. Wait, you saying as a coach or like when he was in high school? Probably as a coach. Shout out to Teddy. That's what's up. Lions Kings of the North. Yes. I'm going to have to bring those shirts back now because now it's legit. Oh, that's tough. That'd be tough. Yo, if you like had a jet and you handed it to him, because you could, you know how we use them on motion sometimes, you could motion to hand it to him. As a head coach? Is that in Michigan? I'm going to have to look that up. I didn't know that was a thing. Wait, what did he win his first year? Hold up. I've read it, but I didn't like read it. Wait. He won what? You said he won state? He won the state. Oh, in Florida. He won state in his first year as a head coach? That's insane. That's insane, though. That team must have had some dogs over there. Or they saw like Teddy's there. It's like, hey, let's go to that school. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, Keith, I see you. Keith, what was your picture before this? Keith, you had a different picture before this, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like you had something different back in the day, but this is clean. Is that Lions Stadium? That almost looks like Dallas. Is that Lions? Is that the Lions Stadium? I see you, Keith. Okay. Maybe want to go to a game, man. Kings of the North 2.0. Hey, maybe. That was back in the dark days. Oh, okay. That makes sense then. Maybe just a different end zone kind of looking. State in year 1? Dang, dude. And they got like rounds after rounds, man. Oh, my goodness. All right. That's fire. Congratulations, Teddy. I think I had 24-21 Lions. But I really am between 30-21 to 24-21. I hate picking games where they don't have a field goal because we hold a lot of teams to field goals. But I'm going to stick with it. I'll just stick with it. 24-21 Lions. I'm going the under. But even if it's 30-21, it's still the under. Even if it's 30-24, it's still the under. So, Micah Parsons rumor to the Lions. Is there another rumor about that? I like Micah. Micah's a dog. I just wouldn't. Just for financial reasons, but if that's what you're talking about, but man, I love me some Micah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If the Lions ever wanted to try to go crazy, I'd be one of the guys at the top of the list. I'd be like, you know what? That might be worth it. You know what I mean? Everybody else, the receiver, Micah, that might be worth it. I'm going to be honest with you. It might be. All right, Chad, we got to get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all joining, man. YouTube 150. I'll see y'all live. Join the live stream. I think it's set for 4:15 right now. I think the game's 4:15 or 4:25, but we'll be over there live reacting to this, and right after the game, we'll be on Bleacher Report. So download the app, join our post-game show, and I'll see y'all over there, man. Appreciate y'all joining. Enjoy the 1 o'clock games, and I'll see y'all at 4. We out!